Michael. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, and terrific performance as always.
Thank you.
This is a fascinating movie about Bobby Fischer, which a person many of us know through his reputation, as opposed to as an individual. How familiar were you with Bobby Fischer before this movie started?
Yeah, not really at all. You know, I had seen Searching for Bobby Fischer, and I knew of him as having been a chess prodigy and a bit of a lightning rod in the press later in his life. But I learned a ton in doing research for the film, and had a great time, exploring it with these guys.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, watching your character and Bobby Fischer in this movie is interesting because it reminded me of the French Connection and how the two cops that the characters were based on, one of them was just a real jerk, and the other guy was like, "Why are you friends with this cop?" And he said, "Because if I'm not his friend, who will be?"
Right.
Would you say that's kind of the same thing that's going on between?
Well, not quite, because I was sort of hired to, to come in and help him out. So I think, yeah, in some ways I had to basically, try to allow him to do what it was he needed to do within the context that he was, being asked to bustle. But I don't think Bobby really let too many people in, and I don't think, I think Paul probably felt like Bobby was somewhat troubled and was trying to help him out somewhat, but, I'm not sure how close they ever really got.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we talked with Ed Zwick. I mean, Bobby's specific mental problem was one that didn't really have a diagnosis to it yet. So it's like your character's trying to help him, but he's not sure how. And it's like nobody was really sure how to help Bobby back then.
Yeah, except to try to give him what he asked for, if it could be given to him. Some cases he was allowed, in some cases he wasn't. But, he latched on tight to this game as a very young boy, and it turned into a freight train that he rode for the rest of his life to a very dark place.
Yeah, and then you as an actor, whether it's this movie or A Serious Man or Cut Bank, which came out a few months ago, you've had this amazing ability to really just disappear into each character you play. As an actor, what's most important for you when you're putting together a character?
It's a good question. It's kind of like starting from scratch every time you do it. Sometime you may be in love with the story. Sometime it may be a historical character that you knew something about and just, I can't wait to figure out all kinds of things. You may know the more public version of this person and not the private version. So there's always something that surprises you. In this case, I learned about Mr. Marshall from his wife, Betty Marshall, who I was able to contact and learn all kinds of things about Paul and what he went through during the course of this story. You never know what's going to arise when you start digging.
It's true.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, it's another terrific performance, and it's a great pleasure to talk to you, sir.
You as well.